What's up? How y'all doing? Y'all, every time I see that intro, I just be smiling. We look like we had so much fun that weekend, Karma. We look like we had a good time. A whole time. All right, y'all. So welcome to If You Like It, I Love It. It's your favorite candy lady, MrsiCandi, and I have my girl Karma Fox with me. And we're doing a review for the Housewives of Atlanta season 15 reunion. Part 1, part 2. So part 1, I was sick last week. I didn't feel like it. Karma was not feeling good. It was a bad day week. But
and y'all know I be telling her to go sit down because I keep telling y'all she love y'all more than me. Because I be like, okay, reset.
Yes. So we giving y'all 1 and 2. Now I'm trying to remember, did I even take notes on 1? I took notes on 2.
1 was just 2 was it for me. 1 was a bore. It wasn't given. It wasn't memorable. It was 2 for me. It was Drew carried. Drew carried.
Yeah. Okay. So I did take a few notes, not a whole bunch. I guess, if you want to say something, because what most people do when they do that kind of stuff is they talk about the fashions. Anything memorable to you about the fashions?
Well, as you can see, I'm super fashionable. So I don't be really caring about the fashions like that. Like, unless now Carisha BMAs, we gotta put that on Hot Topic. That was a little like weirdly constructed for her body. Like, it didn't compliment her. But as far as like the girls on a reunion, I didn't get I didn't know Marlo looked like Miss Roper until Kenya said it, and then I couldn't unsee it. But I liked Marlo. I think Marlo has a really good overall sense of fashion for sure. And I always give Marlo her flowers with that. I thought Sheree's dress was pretty simple. Okay. A little too simple. It was a little too simple for me. I wanted her to do it up a little bit. It reminded me, remember when we had Deb? I'm throwing y'all back. This millennial talk. Remember when we had the place Deb at the levee?
Yes, Deb. Okay, I was gonna say Deb Abney.
Girl, listen. It remind me of our prom dresses. Sheree wore a millennial prom.
I'm trying to find one, y'all. I'm about to upload one for y'all so y'all can just look at it. Just
so it wasn't bad, right? Because we was doing what we do back in the 2000s, early 2000s, but it was a little too simple for me for Sheree. I love Candy's dress. Didn't care for the straight bob though. I always like when Candy does like a simple wave for her. I sometimes Candy's hair be a hit or miss. I just wasn't completely sold on the straight bob like cut for her. But other than that, I loved her dress. I loved Mayetta. A lot of people think Mayetta's boring, and so was her outfit. But I really like the fact that she did pants and a corset. I like that. She stood out in not a bad way for me. So I really liked Mayetta. Sanya. I feel like Sanya's personality never carries enough for me. So there's nothing wrong with her outfit. Sanya just doesn't sell things for me. Sanya was just there. It wasn't nothing wrong with her hair. It wasn't nothing wrong with her dress. It just her aura doesn't sell it for me like that. She's just. I love Drew. I thought Drew ate down. I love Drew's dress.
You like her outfit? Okay.
I loved it. Loved Kenya's outfit. Did not like her hair. I love when Kenya does the soft waves. Oh, if Kenya just would have had the hair, if she would have did a updo, I didn't like the hair for Kenya. And yeah, I'm not. Yeah. Okay. See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying with Sheree? Sheree and Sanya, I think we could have found them at Deb in 2007, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Sheree's, I would have wore. It's simple, but I would have wore that.
To the reunion or to prom?
To prom.
Exactly. Okay, So now correct. We would have wore that to prom.
But I don't like Sonya's. I'm sorry. I don't like hers. Okay, again, I think she looks beautiful. I'm not saying I love that she's pregnant, like that she's got a healthy baby so far. So I think that's great. I don't like that shiny blue. Like, I don't like that. It looks cheap. And it's probably expensive, but it looks cheap.
I feel like you would have wore that back in 2005 for a 3, 2, and 1, though. You couldn't tell me that wouldn't have ate at prom.
Nobody would have worn it. I wouldn't have. It looked plastic or.
I feel like that would have ate in the early 2000s. See, okay, if I would critique Marlo looking at this picture, it's too much fabric at the top.
Now,
it's a little too much fabric.
I do like Marlo's
in this picture.
It's okay. To me, it's age appropriate. And neither one of them ladies really ever do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? These aren't women that's going to dress like their 50s or 60s. They be dressing like, they baddie still. And that looks
I feel like it doesn't photograph well. It doesn't photograph well for me. Like, that looks like way too much fabric. I feel like when she was on the couch, it looked really good on her. But picture-wise, you don't think that that's like too much?
I think she's like the oldest person up there. Like that, not in a bad way.
That's not doing it for me. Because if that was Angela Bassett,
she wouldn't have worn that.
She wouldn't have wore that. So I think it doesn't photograph well. I think the girls not only need to try it on, but I think they need to photograph it.
I loved Marlo's hair. It was very simple, a little messy. I did like Marlo's hair. I thought it was very pretty. I like Drew. I thought Drew looked great. Outfit, hair, makeup.
I think Drew is best dressed, and then Kenya for overall look.
I like Candy's dress. I didn't like Candy's hair, like you said. I like Candy's dress though. I would have rocked that. I mean, it was different. It was short, so it made her stand out. She didn't go as extra, but her dress looks good. I don't like Candy's dress.
Great. I loved Kenya's dress.
I like Kenya's dress.
And I love them titties looking at me, looking at her.
I don't like the way the boobs look. The boobs look weird. The way it's holding the boobs look like it's hurting. It don't look comfortable. Good. It don't look comfortable to me.
I don't know. I stick my tongue in between them. I think they look great. I think they look like, hello, I'm at the reunion.
You're different angle. I'm not looking at that angle.
Maybe so, girl. Maybe so. That's my alphabet letter gang coming in because they look great to me.
I'm just looking at it like as the dress. Like, I understand what it's given. I probably would like it if I would see Cleve the other way. But I do like the rest of the dress, and I hated her hair too. I wish she would have had a ponytail.
Yeah, I didn't like her hair. I think a slick ponytail or something would have been even better. Even though that could have been a little plain, I think that would have been a little bit better. I think Drew to me had the best overall look down at the reunion.
Yeah,
for
Drew
sure.
looked really good. That dress was pretty. I would wear that. Yeah, she looked good. And again, I like Sheree's dress. I would probably wear that.
I would go Drew
just this reunion. I wouldn't wear that dress at the reunion, but I like Sheree's dress, just not for the reunion. And worse to me,
I feel like Drew's side 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Drew's side came to slay a little, and then the other side, photography wise, I'm really disappointed in Sheree's dress. I'm really disappointed in that basic.
I guess I'm kind of more disappointed in Marlo. It does feel like fashion. I can see how whatever Marlo got on is some type of fashion. Like I can definitely see that. I just feel like she ain't, not for the reunion. Like, reunion look.
It looks so much better though on the couch. When she was sitting on the couch and the way that it draped down, it looked. I felt like it looked a lot better. But photograph wise, it looked like something Mariah Carey would have wore for you to go get her tea in the house. Because Mariah's a diva.
You know what?
It looked like something diva has.
I think that's what I'm thinking. It's a wonderful muumuu. That's what
it's a great muumuu. A beautiful
fancy muumuu. That's what I mean when I say it's auntie. It's very fancy. It's rich auntie muumuu.
That is. We got it. It is. It's a nasty auntie muumuu.
That's it. And I'm saying, Marlo, you look like the rich auntie coming out. Hey, darlings, come on in. You guys want something to eat? Like, it don't look like reunion. So, okay, that's the fashions. All right, so let me do my quick notes on one because I don't have a lot at all. It said the fashions, and the first thing I put was Kenya's hair. Cry. That was the only thing I wrote. I didn't like her hair. Okay, so quickly, y'all. Kenya, this is just my highlight. So I am in no way going in order because I had not watched that in over a week. I did not rewatch it or anything. So this is
It wasn't rewatchable, to be honest. It was
and
dry.
we'll come it off my Tina Marlo with some blank paperwork. I guess like she printed it out and didn't get the real thing or something. It was
she did say on Instagram she got that subpoena on August 24th.
So she actually did do it for real, but I think the fact that she tried to bring it out like I'm subpoenaing you, like you got to see me in court, and it really wasn't a subpoena was where it failed.
The props wasn't doing it.
I was like,
the way she presented it didn't do it. What she should have did, like if we needed a prompt, was she should have gathered the phone record and highlighted it, and then she should have attached a blank subpoena that says, "And you shall be served. You shall be served based upon this receipt."
Right. But she was like, "And you can serve after you in court." Like she made it seem like it was. Now listen, if it really was a subpoena, that would have aged. I'd have been like, oh, but then when it was like, this ain't real, I was like, what? It was just like, that's what lost me. But I was thoughty that it wasn't real. I was like, girl, what you do? Print out a paper and just say, hey, I'll see you in court. Like I was just lost. I guess it was going to be court twirl where we are the judge and the jury. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. And then I guess I said she explained herself about Marlo has to be a witness or she can go to jail again, because she was reaching out to Mark and there's some records document that her number was in Mark's phone. So I will see you in court. Also the contempt situation with Brooklyn kicking down the door because now he's saying that Kenya don't have Brooklyn in a safe situation. So Marlo needs to take her ass to court for that, for sure. Like, and this is just a humanity thing. You know what I'm saying? Like show aside, BS aside, like as a human, because we all saw your ass kicking down the door and you know this could be causing this little girl to have to leave her mother's care. You big on foster home and kids and all that. You need to bring your ass to court. Like I'm for real. What I don't like that I'm seeing about this and what reunion part 2, you know, what just our conversations in general this season has taught me is that Marlo is a snake and she's a snake in real life. Like we look at this reality TV and we've been reviewing it all these years like it's real life, but these ladies turn off and then they come back to film. So it's like real life to them, but it's still work. It's like when we go to our jobs and how we clock in and we're there for that, but once we leave, we clock out. They ain't our friends for real. They are, you know, our coworkers or whatever. But if like my coworker were to do something that could affect my life outside of work with my children, that's a problem. So that's what I feel like Marlo did in that point. So you need to bring your ass out of work right now and come into Kenya's real life and fix that, because this ain't no work, shade, fun, ha, peak situation. This is her real life. So I was like, yeah, that's not okay.
Yeah, I like to describe reality TV as like you're following like a day-to-day of like what I do. Like it's a vlog extended. And then comes a different level. I think if you're smart in reality TV, if you're not Krishan and Blueface, right? Because they give us way too much. Way too much for their kids to see, right? There is a level of some things that you do want to keep for when them cameras shut off and them little 6 months of filming, you still have to deal with, right? But it's not scripted. It's just learning the difference between the transparency and the vulnerability of what you have to deal with when these cameras come out. And I feel like Marlo crossed the line when she kicked that door in, because that is something when these cameras go off, like you said, it ain't no shade, Kiki. Let me make a spoof. Let me make a tweet. This is going into a court record. So this is like a real thing I have to continuously deal with when I just signed up to show my life and you interfered in my shit.
Right. So I'm a take it in a way where I'm going to not defend Marlo, because I am not a Marlo fan at all. Marlo has completely turned me off.
How did you feel about her apology?
Girl. What I'm going to say is I'm going to give Marlo the benefit of the doubt for just a second. Just in case Marlo truly did not know Brooklyn was in that room, right? Because I'm gonna say,
get the hell out of here.
No, I'm gonna say if she didn't, let's just say if she didn't know Brooklyn was in that room,
I don't believe it.
Then you should have no problem going to court and saying something, because Marlo's not going to go to jail for kicking down the door. That's not what this court thing is about.
I don't believe it. I don't believe. First of all, Kenya been taking Brooklyn. She took her on the Bolo trip. The second little thing. Y'all listen. Now we have all agreed that we can play with Kenya about anything else. Well, what we not fit to play with her about is Brooklyn.
Right.
If she can take Brooklyn, she's taking Brooklyn. And I very, very much doubt that between getting on a plane and all of this behind the scenes for crew prep, you did not know that little girl was there. Right. I very much doubt that. Very much doubt.
Well, let's devil's advocate for a second. Let's just say she didn't. Just to follow the storyline. Marlo did not know. We're gonna just say she didn't know. If she did not know, because this is telling to me, if she did not know, and if she is sorry, I am sorry, and I know Brooklyn was in that room. If it's true, you should be able to go to court. Now, if you say, I don't want to go to court, or if you go to court and you do something to mess this up for her, you knew when you, like, girl.
Because when she opened the door, right, didn't she say, my child is in here, what's wrong with you? I'm going to call the police. Yeah. She told her Brooklyn was in there. Yeah. We didn't get an apology until the reunion. So kiss my ass, you knew.
That's true.
Kiss my ass, Marlo. You was 1,000% wrong.
When she said that, my child is in here, you know, and she was cussing her out. That's when it should have been like, oh, well, damn, I ain't know Brooklyn. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like, because then it's simple.
We had nothing. We never talked about it again until the reunion.
Right.
So no.
She said something about that. Like, she had said she shouldn't be bringing her child. Like, she said something asshole about it. She ain't say like remorseful. It would have, for me personally, because I wasn't mad that she kicked on Kenya's door when she did, because at the time I didn't know Brooklyn was in there. But once Kenya came out and cussed her ass out and said my baby's in here, it's like, oh shit, her baby in there. You know what I mean? Like, that's when you become a human and you say like, oh damn, you know what? My bad. I'm sorry. I didn't know Brooklyn was in there.
And see, we need to normalize erratic behavior. I don't give a damn if it was just Kenya in there. Yeah. Why are you kicking her door? Why? Because can we talk about in real life, Kandi, if I came up to you and kicked your door, whether your kids or mom or anybody was in your house, it's your door.
Yeah.
So in real life, the fact that she did that action, it really don't matter Brooklyn was in there or not. You didn't really apologize for Ish into that reunion, which just lets me know Marlo's character even further.
But if there would have been no remorse because it was just Kenya, like, to me, that's their reality bullshit. Like, I don't care. You know, that's what I mean when I say, like, you took reality and put it in her real life. Like, this is kicking the door, and if it's just Kenya, Kenya will open the door and punch you in the face. That's on you. This is reality stuff. But the fact that it is now affecting Kenya's child, who is with Kenya, this ain't for fake. This is her real kid. This ain't no shade. This ain't no fake beef. This is like her life. And you kind of like, oh well, fuck it. That's a big problem. Like that right there.
I'm not a fan of Marlo. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I recognize Marlo's trauma, but I'm not a fan.
Y'all all know I am not Team Kenya. Like, I am not at all.
She is not. I'm slowly bringing her though to Team Twirl, because listen, Kenya, like, I understand why people don't like Kenya. There's record, okay. There's no excusing that, but I think Kenya at a core, is a very nice person. I think she has certain character flaws. Yeah, but I do think Kenya, on a personable level, like, I feel like I can see being cool with Kenya. I can see it. I can see being cool with Marlo. Like, when Sonya keeps telling us about all the great things Marlo does to her. But the thing with Marlo is that Marlo's trauma is so deep that there's no levels to where she stops at.
Yeah, and that's the problem. That's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem for me. Like I said, you in my real life now. Like, real life. You know what I'm saying? We don't do that. That's why when they say don't talk about kids, don't talk about husbands, you know, like, or whatever, like, that you going to my real fucking life now. Now I really got to get gangster with you, because this ain't, if you shading me and TV stuff, cool, whatever, fine. But you in my family now. That's real. Hold on, pause.
I only believe that kids are off limits, and honestly, because the husbands are also filmed realistically, some girls gonna go for your spouse. I mean, they did it with Martell's list. Okay, people gonna talk about who you with. That's also real life, right? If you show your relationship is gonna be up for critique. What I don't agree with and should always be off limits on reality TV is them children, because they did not consent to that type of form of criticism or openness.
Right.
That is something that comes with the package of their parent being on television.
I can understand that, but I can also understand how when you touch somebody's spouse, they ready to fight you. Just like
then it's on the pop, but that's real life, right? If you talk about somebody, my man, or my girl,
right.
Those also come, but it comes that kind of to me comes with the territory.
What Scrappy said. Put them paws on you.
That comes with the territory. And honestly, if you got a solid foundation, no matter what somebody says about your spouse, I would have my clapbacks in the chamber, because Sheree would never be able to tell me about my worst day. No, ma'am. Absolutely not. Wouldn't be able to happen. I wouldn't even be tripping about it, because it's not gonna happen, sis.
But you remember how Kandi was when they was talking about Todd. Nene was like, "Don't talk about my man." I'm with. Okay.
And to me, Kandi is very big on Todd, and I love that for her. I do. Mm-hmm. But in my opinion, not Mama. How Mama? Like, my mama couldn't talk to me about my man without one. Kandi sometimes gets redhead Kandi activated on Todd for no reason. We ain't never caught Todd in no blogs besides what Portia ran her mouth about that end up being a lie. Todd had a job before Kandi. This little jab and stuff that people do with Todd, they've been married for 10 years. And on TV, you couldn't tell me shit about my goddamn man. My man,
honey, my man.
Girl, I would be going to the depths of hell with Nene. Y'all would have been calling me a Marlo on that.
Right, because I love Todd. I don't know why everybody be making this shit like.
I love Todd. Todd is so good with also not being in women's business like Patricia.
Yes.
Todd also never disrespected Mama Joy.
Todd came on the show. If you go back, because if y'all go back to the iCandi TV archives when I did used to review the show, because I stopped for a while, but when I did review the show consistently and Todd came on there, I used to defend. Me and Mama Joyce had beef. If Kandi ever, watch my old stuff, because I ain't deleting it, she would probably be mad about the stuff I said about Mama Joyce. But I was so pissed about, I was defending Todd like he was my cousin. Like, y'all gonna leave Todd the F alone. Like, I was not on it. And I'm still not on it. Because Todd don't bother
Todd all around, from what has been presented, seems like a solid dude.
Yeah.
So to me, somebody talking about Todd to me sounds preposterous. Not when an ex-convict left you at a table on a blog, sitting there waiting for him and never showed up. Like, no, them ladies couldn't say nothing to me. You feel me? Right. Like, nothing. Like, Marlo, she's never even been like. Does she get too upset to me about Todd when I feel like you really don't have to even put that energy, because who at this point, now that Kandi is a veteran, whose marriage is over Kandi?
But you know what? Kandi doesn't defend Todd like that no more. When people talk about him to her, like the castmates, the only person we see her defend Todd to now is Mama Joyce, because Mama Joyce is different than the work stuff. Again, Mama Joyce is Kandi's real life. So it's like, okay, Mom, I get it. We filming, but you going too hard on my husband. Like, that's my real husband. Like, calm down, because you my real mama. Like, chill out with that. So I do understand that. But if she would have did that shit from the get-go, Mama Joyce wouldn't be so comfortable.
We say that, like, Kandi should have boundaries, but Kandi's a different generation as well. And, they're not used to putting those types of boundaries with their elders. You know what I'm saying? It may be deemed as disrespectful. I think because it's been 10 years, I'm expecting Kandi to make some changes, because you've already tried all these other options. So now it's time to put your foot down. Yeah. But I definitely gave Kandi grace from the beginning, because I understand that in the Gen X generation, they don't disrespect their elders. They what they view as disrespect would be, let me check my mom and put this boundary up. They would view that as disrespect, because, when they were growing up, kids didn't have voices and choices, and all. You don't put boundaries on an elder. You get what I mean? So I've always kind of gave Kandi some grace in how to navigate that dynamic.
We are the first generation of pushback. Like, wait a minute.
And therapy services. We're the first generation that cuts people off. So, you know, I see that, and I have given grace for that because I recognize that, and I understand that to this point. So, you know, like I said, part one was blah. And then do you have on your notes or whatever when
Sheree and news? That's the last thing I got. Kendi and Sheree got beat.
You didn't cousin Courtney was part 2, not part 1.
It started off in part 1, but it was like a cliffhanger to part 2.
Because Drew in these prompts. This was the part 1 was the prompts, right? It was Sheree exclusive news, the plum, and the fake subpoena, right?
Yes,
that was all the prompts.
Yeah, Sheree gave Kandi when she pulls out She News, and it's like one page, front and back page of just shade about Kandi and tag, and it was just stupid.
It was dumb. It was dumb because your business is not making a profit. Was not up last season. And so shading Kandi with whatever you got on her business, especially tags that's been around for 14 years, was stupid. And them restaurants been around for what, a good 4 years at this point? It's dumb because your shit took 10 years for a wrinkled hoodie and a bad website.
And let's okay, seriously, Sheree, because we did this already. We already did this on one of these review shows where we looked up your website and the prices and shit. Don't be trying to compare tag stuff with your stuff. You got sweatsuits for $200. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna talk about how her stuff is different, because baby, you got sweatsuits for $200.
Well, I think the most important thing is that yes, Kandi's markup could be like 7% more than the original of where she buys it from, right? But the gag is people are fucking buying it. Yeah. Now, for me, I'd have bought it at Shein, okay? I wouldn't have bought it at Kandi's if it was the exact same vendor. And I have that right to do so. But the gag is people are buying it at that price. Who buying your items? You know, so you can talk about the price markup all day, but the end of the day, sis, you said you were a designer, so there shouldn't be anything we seen for Shein. So that's where the read fell flat first. Is the fact that there shouldn't have been no comparison. You talking about, well, look at Kandi, she got Shein. She said she had it, so that read falls flat. And then the fact that your stuff that's like $200 from Shein is higher than Kandi's,
right?
And she's been doing it for 14 years. Buying it. You had to ask the girls to buy it. That's the gag. If I was Kandi, I'd send that shit back to the warehouse. I've been looking at my motherfucking return policy, and I would have sent it back. Yeah. You want to do a Shein exclusive news? Listen, the way my petty work, I could have been sitting on that couch. I know damn well you ain't pulled my website reviews, because if I do it to my 10 million followers on your website review, then y'all gonna be crying. Right. Y'all gonna be crying. So honestly, I think Kandi did pretty well, because I'd have been like, so we want to talk about businesses? Yours will be shut down in a week. Fuck with me and my followers. Fuck with me and the little Kandi ass. It'll be shut down in a week.
Real. That's all I got for my notes. We can start off with part 2. All right, Drew and Courtney. Courtney believes Drew cheated. Drew said, "Keep my son's name out your mother effing mouth."
Okay, wait. So, do you think that Courtney included her son? Or was she talking about, because this is always what people say. We seen this in Love and Marriage Huntsville when it came to Wanda crazy ass about Mel and Sugar Mama. That people say it's a difference between me talking about your child and then talking about you and the effects of your child. So was she talking about her child, Or was she talking about Drew's reason that included her child? And is there a difference?
Don't mention my child, period. I don't give a fuck what you saying about my child. I don't care what your opinion is about why I want my child to have ice cream on Sunday. Don't fucking mention my kid, period. I don't care what the loopholes is that they be trying to come up with when they say something, because you said something about her child and then said something negative in the same sentence. So regardless of what you're saying my child, and you're saying something bad around my child. Only reason I wanted him to adopt my child is so he could pay. Girl, don't mention my kid. Don't.
Listen, and this is reason number 3003 why we can't be on RHOA. Because if you would have mentioned your child, you would have wanted to go the route of telling her that this don't mention my kid. I would have already socked that hoe in the face. I would have let you talk, and then I just would have socked her in the face. She know what she said. We ain't doing all that. I cannot stand all that talk. There comes to a certain level. There's no words.
That right there, kids ain't it. That's how I'm getting.
Kids ain't it for me. There is no warning shots
at all.
When it comes to kids, it is and she has a child on top of that.
Right.
I'm not playing with you. You know what you said. Yes. I thought Drew showed a lot of composure that I truly wish to have one day. I would have rocked her shit on sight. It wouldn't even have made it to the couch. Do you hear me? When the people would have been coming in for hair and makeup, and I would have saw the last clip.
I'd have got her in. I'd have got her in for sure. Oh God, we wouldn't have made it to the couch because when I saw that clip,
I'd have rocked her lips to the other fucking side, y'all.
I'd have been waiting outside. Courtney here yet?
I would have moved her mouth to the other side of her face. I'd have rocked her shit if she would have said that.
I'm the type of person where I do have a little bit of composure, like Drew.
Absolutely.
However,
and that's a good thing. It is something I go to therapy on every Tuesday.
But I clearly don't have as much as Drew, because once I said, just keep my kid's name out your mouth. If you say something else, like, it needs to stop. That's it. Don't say
it. We would have jumped her, and then the internet would have been mad. Like, Karma was jumping in, and Candy already was beating her up, and then Karma gonna knock her foot down, and she grabbed her, and they jumped that girl, and did. And it
would have been like, because it was like the Courtney going back and stuff. Like when they try to defend it, well, I wasn't talking about you. Bam! Like, we gotta fight, because I'm not about to sit here and you're not gonna play in my face, right? You're not gonna play in my face like it's okay what the fuck you said. Don't mention my kid. I don't want my kid to come out your mouth in any way. Don't even say happy birthday to my fucking kid.
You already talked sideways the way I would have made her mouth reconstructed to the other side of her goddamn face. Bravo would have had to put the caption of "We don't condone violence." Listen. It would have. Drew gets all my. Honestly, part 2. When I say Drew carried, Drew had the amount of restraint. Listen, y'all. I inboxed Candy at 6 this morning because I had a dream about how felt they did Drew this motherfucking season, specifically with the reunion. And when I tell you, we can say a lot of things about Drew be lying, all that type of shit. We know Drew be lying. Yes. But the way the triple team and the nobody saying shit, hey, I'd have had to fight everybody. I'd have been paranoid. When Sheree brought out that envelope to tell us about Ty, I was so fucking disgusted. Because honestly, what did Drew say to you? Y'all, I know y'all, first of all, y'all get shit about people all the time. All of the housewives have said that. Like, you know, random people be sending them information about their castmates to bring it on because they be trying to get in on the show. You never had to bring that envelope on the couch. What did Drew do to you? Tell you she ain't getting no back? And you decided to bring them receipts. Like, Drew didn't call you no liar. She had beef with Candy about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was your beef with Drew?
Yeah.
And why, out of all people, Sheree just magically had it on her porch that you decided to bring these receipts? Why? We all know Drew done probably ate that kitty cat or had her kitty cat ate. I think she did. I don't care, but I think
Do we care?
I think she did. But what was the purpose? Sheree disgusted me on part 2. I'm ready for her ass to go.
Okay, let's go. So Kandi tells how Drew met Ty, right? Because it was asked about Ty because, you know, whatever. And Kandi explains that Drew had told to somebody. I don't even know why did she say Ty, but she told somebody that if it didn't work out with Ralph, you know, she got a girl crush. The girl crushes Ty, and then they told somebody named Erica, and the next day Ty came to set because I guess Erica, whoever this Erica person is a friend of Ty's. Okay, why do we care about Drew and Ty? Like, I guess that's interesting to y'all. Like to find out that Drew was talking to Ty.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because we're watching the movie The Past in real life, and so the interest is Ralph. We don't know what he did in Tampa. Okay, we all believe that Ralph is cheating. He a gaslighter and he's an emotional abuser. And so I really feel like we wouldn't be mad if she cheated on her with Ty. But Drew gonna tell her she ain't never kissed a girl. She ain't never did that. So it's an interest. Because Drew even said it in the dressing room to her sister that she holds stuff sacred to her marriage, but it's coming in the detriment of herself.
Yeah.
It's coming at a detriment. Okay, you don't want to tell what Ralph doing and all the extra stuff and whatever y'all talking about in that dressing room with the PI stuff, because we don't really need to see it to believe it. We've been feeling that way.
Right.
But why won't you own it? Why won't you say and did? Because that's what I would have said on the couch. I think she had, you know, and did. She ate me deep out. And
it was amazing.
And did. And then they could have said, so you were talking to her with Mimi. Yup. She said she had a problem with Mimi. I had a problem with Ralph. It was convenient for us. That's what we did. I ain't saying it's right. I'm saying that's what happened.
But you know what? I think because, and this could be wrong too, because she is in the middle of a divorce proceeding, she is probably advised not to say nothing on any of that kind of stuff right now. So I don't think
she wasn't in the season.
Well, in the season she was married, and again she was trying to keep her little marriage sacred. I don't know what the deal is with her thinking that it could be they could reconcile and it could be okay, and maybe they will, girl. I
hope not. No, I want her to leave for her sanity. It's okay, so bad. Yeah, I want her to go.
This is what Karma was talking about. Someone dropped off. Well, Sheree brings out an envelope and tells us that someone dropped off a package to her house, and then she has some printouts of text conversations between Drew and Ty, right? So what's stupid is to say that someone dropped it off at your house, like they left it at your doorstep.
Like Kenya said, how they get past the gate?
Was it mailed to you?
Out of here.
Was it Courtney, my nigga? Like, it's so stupid. And then, why? Like you said, like, who cares? Like, Sheree, why?
What did that girl do to you to deserve that?
Why was that tea to share on her? Like, who the fuck cares? We all have watched 3 seasons. Well, me too. Of Ralph being an asshole to Drew. Where was he at in Tampa? Where was he at? Y'all, okay, and I think a lot of people are just like, well, if she messed with Ty, then she did cheat. Right back ain't cheating to me. And since your ass was in Tampa, I don't know what the fuck you was doing. I don't feel like we need to know what Drew and Ty did because we don't know what Ralph did in Tampa. So why are we so worried about what Drew did? Because right back ain't cheating. It's not. She has a friend named Ty.
It's because Drew is making it a big deal about what Ralph is doing. That's what, if Drew just doesn't understand the power of her ownership. If it had been me, I would have definitely said it. I know he cheated. And I did it. And they could have debated with me about the morality of it all day, and I wouldn't have disputed that. I would have just said it is what it is.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. I was mad. I was in my emotions. Bitch, I'm a Cancer. And I wanted his spirit to hurt. So I slept with Ty.
But it might be a thing of if she can admit it or whatever, he can get money from her in the marriage, like The Past.
But they already got according to Allison in the back, did you talk about the PI situation?
Yeah.
I don't know the dates of that, but if it's before your tax shit,
then we
and
do
I
it.
know it, and this is why I think it's true. You didn't want to look at it yourself. If I'm being accused of something I know I didn't do, and somebody has a receipt, I want to see it. Because you can't possibly have a receipt, because I need to see it. If I know I wasn't doing something with somebody, I would want to see it. They asking her was it accurate? She gonna be like, I mean, we text. Girl, stop playing with us.
All right, so Ralph, I guess she says, girl, Ralph probably sent you that. Ralph is in the tech. He good in the tech. He done beat the IRS. I watched him myself. Like, that's probably from Ralph. And then we find out Monyetta has an orphanage. And then Monyetta and Courtney leaves. Monyetta was pointless. Girl, why was Monyetta there?
Okay, so here's my thoughts on Monyetta, because I've really been rooting for Monyetta all year, and y'all can go to hell. I like Monyetta. I personally think, as far as a friend of the show, Monyetta has more interesting components than we've seen in a while. Like, if we think about friends of the show, and you didn't watch last season, or was it the season before that? Okay, just in general, who was the most substance of a friend of a show? This is why I give Marlo her flowers. Marlo was a great addition to friends of the show. She knew how to drop shit, agitate shit. She really was a good friend to the show. I think Shamia was a good.
I like Shamia. I was gonna say I like Shamia.
Shamia was really good. Tanya was really.
I like Tanya. I like Tanya a lot.
Tanya, that's 3. We haven't had a whole lot of friends to the show that had some things going on that we were interested in. I think Monyetta has it. I think she's trying to figure out how to position herself into the group.
Yeah.
I think if Monyetta had one more year friend to the show, we might can see something.
I think Monyetta is, although we've seen her with, and it's weird because we've seen Monyetta with Kenya the most, right? Because Kandi has been busy. I still look at Monyetta as Candy's friend. I don't look at her as Kenya's friend. I feel like she's Candy's friend. I feel like her and Kenya are cool, you know what I'm saying? Through Kandi. Like, you know, I feel like she's Candy's friend. I don't know. I know about Monyetta. I know something about Monyetta because I've known about Monyetta before she got on the Housewives. So I'm familiar with Monyetta. Yeah. But if I wasn't familiar with her because of knowing her prior, I would not understand who she is, why she's here. Why wouldn't I agree? I'd be like, what the fuck is her purpose? Like, they're not giving us anything on her. And the only reason that some of us
Monyetta hasn't picked a character to play.
But the reason you're holding on, I'm holding on, anybody, is because we know Monyetta's history. We know she got stuff to give us. We do know this, but we ain't getting it. I don't like what
that's because Monyetta ain't picked her NPC character she gonna play. See, Marlo knew when to go to the table and say, okay, so somebody said Kandi was a lesbian. Like, Marlo was one of the most crucial friends to the show. Marlo knew how to add the salt to the wound. She did. She knew how to get on Kim Zolciak nerves by dropping Big Papa's name every 2 seconds. Marlo knew what she was gonna bring, and that was, I'm going to, whoever don't want to bring it to the table, I'm gonna bring it to the table because I'm just a friend to the show. So I'm gonna tell y'all what I heard, and I'm gonna drop the shit that's gonna make the agitation happen. My hasn't figured out what character are you gonna be in this dynamic. Are you gonna be a bone collector? Are you gonna be a Cynthia but a friend to the show? What character are you going to be?
I do feel like we should, and this is just casting, suggestions, because a lot of people don't like Sanya, right? I'm not against, Sanya. It is Sanya. I did figure out it's Sanya. I think Sanya should be demoted to a friend. Can we demote her to a friend? That way,
what?
Huh?
To do what?
Just like to continue. But I don't think
what is she gonna give us?
She's gonna give us that baby.
I personally think Marlo was one of the best friends to the show of the franchise.
She can't be a friend now. Marlo got to go.
She can. Cynthia is. Why can't she?
No, Marla got to go. She got to go. She causing people real problems in their real life. Like that, she got to go. Once you start fucking with my real life, you can't be around no more.
Marlo will be fine being demoted.
She got to go. She got to go do something else.
I mean, she got to go from Cynthia's perspective, but I think if Marlo was demoted back to friend of the show, I think Marlo will play her cards the way she's been playing her cards, and that'll work for her. Like, I think Marlo understands the recipe because she's been on that show for so long. She's a great friend to the show. If they were going to keep Marlo, they may also keep Marlo because she's an agitator. I'm not really sure what that casting gonna look like for next season. I don't know, but what I do know is the two friends we have of the show officially, because Cynthia's not at the reunion. So the two friends we officially have is Monyetta and Courtney.
And did you see how quick that was? Monyetta said nothing. They said you have an orphanage. That's great. She said
Courtney is providing more commentary.
Yes.
Than Monyetta.
That's because Courtney is Ralph's side chick. So
but for engagement purposes of entertainment, Courtney is providing a way back next season, because now we got to figure out. Well, we don't have to figure out. Now we got to let it play out about you effing Ralph, right? But so she's providing a spot for people to at least want to see their confirmation of their intuition of what Courtney is. Monyetta is not, though. And as much as I want Monyetta here, she hasn't figured out what's your piece of the puzzle. Because Courtney gonna act crazy. So what you gonna do?
She gonna give us
Shamia didn't act crazy. Shamia was just enough.
I like Shamia. Shamia was a good addition, and I like Tanya. Tanya was probably my favorite. They done ran my girl off.
Girl, Tanya was so good. We got the cookie lady edition in the photo. To have a scandal with the friend of the show.
Yes. Now, what I enjoy about Tanya, let me tell you what I love about Tanya too. Tanya said, "Oh, now my real life back." Like she left. She's peace. Y'all not doing this. That's me. That's what I'm saying.
Y'all won't catch me in that bolo scandal. I've been engaged for 25 years. You're not messing up my real ish. And Tanya said, "Bye, Kenya. I gotta go." But she did so well in that group. She was the positive one. But then she ended up being in a scandal. She got on Kenya nerves talking about the wit. But she knew how to give a little. You know, Kenya went over the top, went to go get the cookie lady. It was good.
I
can't figure out with Monyetta. Like, are you supposed to be?
I think we probably need more of her husband or something. I don't know, but we ain't.
We didn't need time. We
got Sheree. We got enough bone carriers. Monyetta can't take that bone carrier title. We got enough of that. So it needs to be something else. I really wanted her to be the positive person because we really don't have one right now. You know what I mean? Like Sanya tries, but Sanya ain't nobody on that. So we need a Cynthia. We need a Tanya. We need somebody that's not really, you know what I mean? But Monyetta is not giving us that. It just ain't working.
She hasn't balanced to be the
she's not balanced at all. She is good Candy and Swirl. She's definitely Candy and Swirl, which I don't know why anybody would film with Monyetta, talk about like the other group or like around her. Why would y'all even say that shit around her? You know she gonna go and tell them. Like why would y'all even
like Monyetta hasn't positioned herself. I don't know why she ain't have a conversation with Candy and say, "Listen, sis, I will always make sure people ain't hitting below the belt."
Right.
But I'm going to be someone that can film with all. I gotta be in this whole circle if I'm gonna be on this show.
Right, exactly.
I feel like Candy would have understood if y'all would have had a side combo.
You about to get your friend. This loyalty that you got your friend having for you is gonna get her booted because she got an orphanage.
You can balance that. See, if I was a friend of the show, I could balance that because I love me some Candy Yams.
Yes.
But I also would have had to sit down with Candy and say, "You wrong as hell for bringing Courtney on there." I ain't like that. And I ain't like that comment. I ain't like that comment about Ralph and gaslighting Ralph and all of that. I get that Drew lies, but Ralph is a whole different situation and that shit didn't correlate.
And this is
and I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all.
shouldn't this show have some type of women sister at one
Yeah,
point?
that's what I would have told her. Like that should be. Come on now, for real. Now you looking like this shit with Apollo,
Yeah.
and because putting stuff in the garage because
Right.
like I don't like the way this optic even look. You shouldn't have said that you was wrong. You need to
Right.
apologize. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And then I would have went, and then my filming session would have been able to say, "Hey, producers, I want to tell them that I told Kandi
Right.
that I think she was wrong."
Mhm.
That would have gained a certain level
It would have.
of, okay, at least she checks Kandi.
Yes.
And I would have been able to go like this.
Mm-hmm. And keep it
And
going.
that's what Marietta hasn't been able to figure out. That was the secret ingredient of Cynthia when y'all said she was born.
Because Cynthia
I
would
never
do that.
said Cynthia was
tell
born.
everybody
I never
what she
said
thought they
that.
was wrong. Cynthia, and I like that. I'm that kind of person. I can tell my people, I can tell you and still rock with you and have your back that you're wrong. Yeah, because right is wrong is wrong. And I expect my friends to tell me
I hated that Kandi said that.
Yeah.
And if I was with Kandi and if I met Kandi, I'd have brought that up at the top of the interview. You know what really grinded my gears is that you even said,
mm-hmm. I agree.
Like on that couch that you could see that. I could see having a private scene with Drew by saying, sometimes you lie, and I'm wondering if it take two people to destroy a marriage. For something not to work. If you're really gonna be self-aware, it takes two people. And I do feel like the way that you present to me, that is something you might want to evaluate. That's a private conversation with your sister on screen separately. But on that couch, I'm not fit to say that you gaslighting Drew or gaslighting Ralph. What? Kandi? No.
Crazy. Okay, so they break for lunch. Then we see Sheree and Marlo, they stupid and they gossiping about she knew, like, oh girl, you got it with that. And it didn't hit. It didn't hit. Marlo don't lie to her. It was stupid. Then we see Courtney and Ralph. Ralph is getting ready. And I really feel like the way they edited this was backwards. I feel like this was before Courtney and them came out, because Courtney still had like her hair in pin curls, like she hadn't, because they said it was an hour lunch. They wouldn't have pin curled her hair back up. You know what I'm saying? To go to break after Courtney done left. So she go into Ralph's dressing room and she's talking to him like, are you ready? Are you okay? And then Allison walks by and Courtney tries to shut the door. And Allison hit that door. Don't slam that door in my face, don't you? I was like, ooh, Allison, hit her. I was like, see, I can't be on reality TV because I'm that cousin that want to fight, right? Like, okay, if I was the family member of a housewife and I was there with them, I'll be the cousin that want to fight type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like if I walk by and I see your husband and his mistress and I got like a clear shot to punch her in the nose, I would do it.
Not only that, whether I'm a friend, a cousin, a brother, sister, or a main feature of the show, my thought process, which is why I can't really be a celebrity, is I can't really see me caring enough about this job. I probably would still in my mind be like, I'm cool to go on Indeed.
Right.
Like, there's a certain level because I've been poor that don't really rock my spirit like that. And at this point, if I'm walking past because you're in my brother-in-law's dressing room and your unverifiable cousin Courtney, which I told y'all she was
and you said about my nephew. Let's put that in there too.
I'm asking what's happening in here. You can call me Solange on an elevator. What's happening in here that you are trying to have a private conversation with
shut the door.
Somebody's husband and you're not his cousin. What's happening here?
And it was so weird. Then okay, so she shut the door on Allison. Allison, like I guess they get her gone because the producers are saying something. And then Courtney's talking to Ralph like, are you okay? Drew's just a liar and you have to like let her go. I understand you love her, but she is just a bad person. And I was like, what are you doing? How do you know Drew? Who are you? You've known her for what, 6 months? Girl, shut up. I can't stand. This is like situations where a couple breaks up and the guy or the girl gets a new person and they tell the new person stuff So now all of a sudden, this new person's an expert on somebody when you're only hearing one side of a fucking story.
But you know the difference, and the component into your analogy here is the new person is fucking your old person. And so they're believing what they're saying because there's an added layer component of I'm trusting what my spouse is saying because I don't think they would lie to me about their perspective. So I'm gonna go at you because I feel like you're hurting my spouse.
Right.
And that's the component that the viewers, we are all seeing that we're saying
Courtney's giving us.
Courtney is not be this passionate about this. Because if you were an outsider looking in, you would be able to objectively be like, okay, I understand this side, I understand that side, or this part don't make sense, or as a friend, I'm just here to support, but I ain't really trying to get into your. We don't want to get into your business. Like Courtney loves to get into the business. Something is happening.
Right. She is totally giving new girlfriend energy. Like, oh yeah, because you know he told me that you used to be doing that, girl, and I don't like that. Oh, I don't like it.
Listen, allegedly, I think Courtney dropped the shit off to Sheree's house. Courtney is giving me strategic vibes of how can we position ourselves together, either on this show or breaking away to increase it. There's something wrong about her and Ralph's situation
relationship.
I personally think it's this because anytime you get some D, you know your man.
You do, girl. You be delusional with shit, like just making up stuff. Like,
but something is not adding here. There's a level of investment. I'm not even that invested in my own family's ish. Okay, I don't give a damn about who my cousins is messing with. I don't care.
Up with spouses. And I've heard about it, and I have been able to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I hear you, and okay, I heard his side too. But do you think, like, I'm able to, as a cousin, kind of, you know, like mediate and understand both sides and not jump on? So as a cousin, why are you? It's like, yeah, she's a liar and she's not good for you. Like, y'all ain't grow up together.
Somebody that's literally in the passenger seat, like you can attest to. No, I've seen.
Yes.
You sit here. I'm the one that sent the text that you was she. Right. I'm the one that did this and that. I know you ain't ish.
You can tell
but Courtney has only been around for a couple of months.
Right.
There's no way you should. You do not know what's happening here. And honestly, if you were at an emotional maturity level, your red flag would have went off when he said, "My wife be lying." The fact that you telling me this, even if it's true, also gives me a red flag about you, because anybody that's willing to expose.
Yeah.
I hope this age well and I don't go through a situation where I'm exposed. But if you are going to expose someone, you're exposing yourself.
Yeah.
And so I would have been sitting back saying, listening to my mind. If you're willing to expose that person, what does that say about you? Because this person was fine until a certain level. So what is it now that you want to sit here and do all this rah-rah about this person? And the fact that she didn't discern that, I don't trust Courtney. And honestly, she wouldn't have made it off that couch with her face still the way that it was on that side. The stuff she said to Drew made me mad. I was sitting there like, oh my God, Drew, you gonna let her say that?
I wanted to fight. I don't know about anybody else.
Secondhand embarrassment for Drew. This entire part 2. Drew carried, but it was in a cringy way.
Yeah.
I felt so bad for her because I'm like, this is when Andy's letting Ralph sit across from her on the couch. Nobody else's man. Usually we have the husbands come out, but Ty didn't come out. See, this is why you know this reunion was wet.
And I was mad about that too. Like, where the husbands at? Where is Stanya's husband? Where is Todd? Where Scott lead his boyfriend? And since Ralph is out here, like, where everybody at?
That's how you know this reunion was whack. None of the men came out. It was just
Ralph.
Ralph.
Was there no husband? Andy, for real. Why was there no husband? That was so weird.
I did not also like the fact that Ralph and Drew had this conversation in front of all the ladies. If all the men weren't going to be there, I felt like That was such a cringe. This shit right here was such a cringy watch. You know what I'm saying? That we could have cleared the couch. They could have watched the TV screen from the back.
Yeah,
but that should have been an intimate moment.
On Married to Medicine. On Married to Medicine, they make people watch in the back.
You got the rest of the couch should have been cleared off, and Ralph and Drew should have been the only one there. Between the face, everybody looked like us. Like Kandi is, everybody was uncomfortable in that. They didn't need to be there. I didn't want to.
Ray seemed to enjoy it. Marlo seemed to enjoy it. Okay, wait. Before we go to that, let me just breeze through these end notes. Bedroom Kandi, 10 years celebrating, and you go, girl. I don't know how they saying 10 years when it's really been like 12. But okay, Kenya was admitted to eating the booty. Good job. Kandi has done a 4-way. That's like the sexiest we get from her. 4 people. Sanya talks about the miscarriage and how bad it was. She was upset that Kenya didn't reach out. Kenya clears it up, and honestly, she said, I'm sorry you felt that way, and I liked it. Then it irritated me that Kenya brought it back up. She said sorry. Let that go.
But I will say this. This is the Real Housewives that I do like.
Yeah.
When there is a tragedy within the group, I love the fact that the empathy shows. And so you could see for real, like Kenya was like, we talked about having a mind. Like that was a real moment.
Yeah.
For them, and how Kenya was like that, I did reach out, you didn't answer, but I'm sorry. You know what I mean? This and that. Could Kenya have reached out again or sent a text like, hey, I gave you a call. Just want to let you know I'm open whenever you want to talk. Sure. But, she said she called. But there's an empathy level when there's tragedy happening.
Yes. And that's what I'm missing from
that's what I'm missing, because Drew's tragedy is not supported by anybody
about one person, and that's crazy. Okay, so Kenya decided to adopt, which I'm very happy she gonna do.
I love that.
She's looking for a 3 or 4-year-old,
and I thought, you know what? I really thought when she said she was gonna adopt, I thought Marlo. I thought Marlo would have thrown a bone.
Yeah.
Because that's something, if all things else, one of the humanitarian things and human experiences y'all share is y'all didn't have a mother that showed up for y'all.
Right.
And you were in foster care. I would have thought that we would have seen a moment, just a small moment of empathy, where Marlo would have been like, I love that. And I can help. I if you need any resources with that, because I deal with foster care, now that's something I can get on board with, because that's a passion of mine. I don't recall Marlo saying shit.
Unless they took it out, we ain't getting
nothing. Unless they took it out.
I don't even know if they cut to Marlo, so I can't even give you nothing. But I just feel like this episode, even the producers, the way it was just really cringy because y'all wanted to focus on Drew, and it was just like, it was just so bad. Cherie has a question for Kandi about being too busy for TV. Like, whatever. Candy's booked and busy. I don't want to talk about it no more. The Wiz.
Here's the thing about her being booked and busy, and I'm just gonna put this out here because I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. We had an opportunity to follow Kandi, and this is a Bravo issue. This is a production issue. When we talk about, Eric Fuller, who says he basically don't do shit, he don't edit, he don't do this, he don't do that, he don't do this. Okay, we just came off of SWV's drama. We saw that. Why didn't you follow her as a trio to SWV? And why didn't we see the interactions of the trio? Why didn't we see, her do the play? We did not have to follow just an ensemble.
Right.
We should have followed Kandi.
I did watch half of Kandi's speak on it, right? While we were waiting to go live today, I was watching Kandi speak on it. And Kandi kind of went down the line of the stuff that she actually was doing while they were filming, and the stuff that they could have filmed, but they didn't film or whatever. And she said she had shows with Escape. They had to do extra rehearsals to try to figure out how to do the show without Tasha. She also was doing the piano lessons at Broadway. play that she was producing that she, was trying to get the EGOT for, to get a Tony for. She also had a few things she was honored with, Lady of Soul, and a couple of other things that she was honored with, like that she had to go film for. She was giving us list of stuff that she had to do, her family stuff with the Halloween photo shoot. I mean, she was like naming it, bow, 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 of all the stuff that she had to do. And they did not go and film that stuff. And she was like, I understand it's an ensemble show, but we have to give them my schedule in advance before they get the filming schedule. And they decided to film on days they knew I had to do these other stuff. So there was nothing I can do. I feel like Kandi does enough shit where maybe y'all should just give her a show. Because she does more than just Escape. She does more than just Housewives. Kandi gave me a list of a whole bunch of stuff. Like, even when Kandi do her own little spin-off shows, we need to see all of that shit. Because I was like,
but I feel like we could have got, but we honestly could have got that on RHOA. They could have bridged, okay? They could have flashbacked some of this shit, because it's all on Bravo. I can see if it was on another network. It's on Bravo. Y'all could have followed Escape, and those people who didn't watch Escape, y'all could have gave her like a promo backup, and then we could have seen, y'all could have interviewed Tiny and Tasha. How's everything going? Like, y'all really could have seamlessly
and then
brought
there
in
one like
another.
The one thing in New York that she had going with the Broadway stuff, she said that Kenya and Eva both came. So it could have been a follow Kenya thing, because Kenya was there and a former housewife was there to support her. So it was opportunities for y'all to still film. I don't understand why y'all didn't. What storyline was your asses following producers that y'all couldn't go and follow Kandi? Like,
even the old lady game fell short, because if y'all really wanted to develop that, y'all could have been asking Kandi, okay, so Melvin back to work, he still look hurt, what are you doing to put in some precautions with that? Like, y'all could have really followed even that portion, and then her going here. Kandi had a lot to work with. Y'all let that Marlo bullshit
take over
and Kandi shit really deflect from what the real issue was, which is you had a situation in the shooting there. What is your safety protocol? What have you done since that? Have you after stuff?
How was that going? I don't know. I guess I'm trying to understand why it was such a don't touch topic to talk about, unless it was like legal wise, because that shit happens. So it would have been nice to understand how the aftermath and how you picked it up and what you did, you know what I'm saying? And how the boy that was hurt, or her family member. Like, it would have been nice to just see, because that the restaurant ain't get shut down. It would have been nice to see how everything kept going. You know what I'm saying? Like, because people have businesses that get shot up. So give them some tips on what to do and how to fix it. This is real life.
Because we know here in Cincinnati, that clubs change names
all the time.
Because they get shot up on, okay, and celebrities was legacy before it was celebrities, because somebody died. So let's talk about it. How are you, brand? Y'all could have really asked more questions in confessional. Y'all could have followed a little bit of the Kandi game, and then y'all could have pivoted to her, going into SWV and somewhere else. The fact that Kandi really didn't have a storyline this time, like, really fell flat as hell.
Especially when she has so much going on. She has so much going on. Y'all could have gave us. And she said, like, I was at the Bravo Con. And it's like, she gave me, I watched it. She gave us a list of the stuff that she had going on. And
I can't believe we didn't go to that Tony shit. I can't believe we didn't do that. I personally just would want to see what that looks like.
That's like history. She's trying to be an EGOT. For me, like, again, when I was watching this speak on it, I was inspired and I started manifesting. And I was like, you know what? I feel like this next chapter that I am experiencing in my life is about to be my booked and busy season. Come on, Kandi. I like it. I like that she's doing this. I was like, you better work. Like, I know you tired, bitch, but you better work.
It could have been a good educational moment about some people still don't know what the fuck the Tony is. How she got it. What it meant, how did she get the call? Did y'all record her getting the call? We really could have followed a lot with Kandi.
And this
was storyboards. The storyboards this season was horrible.
And again, that is on the producer. That is on the producers. I don't know how much power Andy has. Like everybody be saying Andy, Andy, Andy. I don't know how much power Andy has because I don't pay attention to shit like that. Like when I first was introduced to Andy, he was the host of Watch What Happened Live. He was like interviewing everybody.
But he's the executive producer. Is Andy the one that chop?
They make it seem like it, but I'm not sure. Andy make it seem like he not. But they make it seem like he is. I don't know. But Andy, Eric, somebody fix this shit. Y'all messing up.
I thought Andy was the casting and the edit. And I thought producer, which is Eric Fuller and his entertainment, is the storyboard and the filming. So they create the storyboard, they send it to Andy. And Bravo, maybe they have a meeting. They okay it. They film it. They give them all the footage. And then I thought Andy and Bravo said, cut this, cut that, cut this, cut that. And then they put it together and give us the hour show. That's the way I thought it worked. But I ain't into this, so I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know Andy's necessarily title. But my thing is, with Andy having Watch What Happens Live, and Andy having to do all of these interviews plus all of these reunion shows, I feel like he's too busy to have to do that other shit. Like it's a lot. How many different? He's doing all the Housewives reunions, plus he do Vanderpump, Married to Medicine. It was LA. He doing a lot of. That's a lot. You got to keep up with the damn shows. What they show us.
He may not, because Mariah. Is the executive producer of Married to Medicine, and Melanie Holt is the executive producer of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Right. So he may be the person that just comes up with the idea.
Yeah, because that's what I was feeling like. Like y'all giving Andy way too much. How can he live and sleep and eat and shit if he got to do all of that plus?
Like Andy do it, so I don't care about Andy. But he may just not have that power. He may just be the person who comes up with the idea, and that's why he's the executive producer. Right. I don't know how much creative freedom even Andy has, but somebody like the storyboard is really our problem.
Yeah,
because I don't have a problem with. I loved the this is something positive with Eric Fuller and his. You didn't watch last season, but they were really funny. Production added. They did a lot of the flashbacks coming in. They added a little funny component because they would automatically pull things in. They. I like the way that they film things. Sometimes I be thinking we about to watch National Geographic for a second. They do a lot of filming on the trips, and I like that they add those little funny, banners in and introduce and little special nuggets. I think our issue is the casting, the storyboard, and the editing.
Yeah. Okay.
And if we can figure out who's responsible for the Holy Mecca.
Yeah.
Then that'll fix it, because Candy's storyboard was dry, and it ain't due to y'all not figuring out how to bring it in, because y'all definitely had the shooting that could bring it in of what you gonna do to navigate. Y'all could have had her tell y'all what time. You could have asked her a confessional. So, are you gonna let them shoot you again? Did you come up with a plan? Like, what did you do after this component?
Especially with Candy. Okay, so Housewives was on when Candy's old fiance AJ was murdered at a club, right? So this could have triggered Candy as well, because now it's a shooting at her business, and that's how her fiance died. Like that's a lot to follow. Y'all not even like
asked her that in confessional.
Yeah, this is like real stuff that y'all could have like really.
How do you feel? Melvin is like a son, but he's a cousin, but he's like a son to you. AJ was shot. Yeah. How did you feel? Did you feel triggered? I knew that was gonna get shaky ass voice Candy to cry. Yeah. She would have had some things to say. We could have really used a lot.
Right. We met AJ. Like I just feel like y'all just and I don't know why they were. I don't know if it was a Candy thing, if she felt like it was going to mess with her business. Like, I feel like it wasn't something that was going to affect your business, because we, as a Black community, we know places that get shut up. We know this happens. It's your fault. We know you ain't got beef, but we understand this happens. So you don't have to hide and be shameful of it. Like, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
She didn't seem like she was, to be honest. She didn't seem like she was like not willing to talk about it. She just kept saying, I'm not just gonna walk into, hey Melvin, how you feel about getting shot? She was trying to warm up the conversation.
Right. Well, that's what
But
she
I
said.
do feel like the
I mean, like,
storyboard.
filming, because Marlo reaching and Kandi really not saying nothing. You could be like, girl, like, what do you want to know about it? Yes, it's devastating. I'm sorry this happened. I didn't, you know what I mean? Like, I would have just chopped her with that. Like, why are you making it seem like Kandi got to be shamed of this? She's not like, what are you talking about? It was just weird.
No, but I would have asked Kandi if she had an EAP or emotional support for her staff. Yeah. I would have asked her, you know, about what kind of safety measures and emotional and mental support, because Candy's not emotionally available. Right. Did you think about the emotional impact and trauma to your staff, and what have you done? Yeah. That is something I would have asked in confessional, and something I would have pushed Sheree or somebody to bring in. Not that what happened with this incident, we seen it in the blog. I would have came in with a different dynamic of the conversation.
Yeah, I feel like it wasn't bad to have a conversation about it. That's why I didn't understand the Marlo going off about it. Like, it's not a bad conversation. Like, think about you and your homegirls and your group of friends that y'all talk. We sit and talk about shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, traumatic stuff to each other.
Didn't want to talk about it with Marlo. She don't like them hoes.
I get that.
You should have had her talk about it with Kenya.
It wasn't even about Marlo. It was about Marlo's approach. I wouldn't want to talk about something traumatic going on in my life if you come at me negative. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I want to talk to you about that? But it was like, sis, like, I know whatever happened, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm so sorry to hear about that. How's Melvin doing? How are you? How is that? You know, like, if you would have came at her on some respectful stuff, even, you know what I'm saying? Even if she was caught off guard with the question, it was how you asked. You didn't ask her like you really gave a shit. You asked her like you was being messy. And I don't understand how you can be messy about somebody being shot. Like, that's not funny.
It's the storyboard component. If you wanted to be messy and somebody wanted to throw shade about her restaurant being ghetto, the vulnerability conversation has to happen prior. Yeah. And then you have to have the group ensemble where, you know, you got haters who gonna bring your bullshit up. Right. And then that would have been, you know, better. But it's a storyboard, and the way y'all put these things together, it's horrible.
I agree. And we still got the dumb storyline with Marlo and being mad about how she could have sang a song to her sister. Girl, shut up.
That shit blew me. She said you could have gave flowers or you could have sang a song to my sister. This is why she said fuck you and them flowers, because you got us all What are you talking about?
Okay.
What are you talking about? Because the question is, why did you wait 2 years? That's what Andy said. Why did you wait 2 years?
And that's why I said it was a non-existent beef. Marlo trying to grasp for straws to have a storyline. We clearly understand that.
You know what pissed me off, and this is why we can't stand.
None of us was supporting Marlo. Like, no, I saw no fan on no comments on nothing defending Marlo. It was stupid. And then Sanya stepping up being stupid, defending her. She just Sanya, shut up. Like, I totally understand you and Marlo got a friendship, right? And I understand you trying to make somebody understand Marlo's point, but Marlo has no point. So stop.
This is where I would have, if it was me, because Sanya's like, I get your point, but she feels like you would have did more. I would have told Sanya, it is not the fact that she thinks I should have done more. It is the fact she waited 2 years, waited until this incident, decided to tell y'all, made it a big deal, continue to move the goalpost of her issue, is why I say fuck her flowers, and fuck what she represents.
And if you keep asking, and if you keep bringing it up and defending her, fuck you too, Sanya.
Fuck you too, because we don't have a beef. Like Andy said, we don't have a problem.
Right, but you giving a problem.
Her part of our problem.
Yeah, you're making it a problem. Just shut up. It's
you know Sanya. What was crazy? You know what was crazy? You know what blew me? Why didn't this Carlos King interview with Sanya?
Yeah.
And the fact that she took Kandi off of the thing, why didn't that happen in the reunion? Was the time frame of the interview versus the reunion different? Why did nobody bring up that Kandi and Sanya had this little online beef because Kandi said, do you want me to tell you what fans say about who, why we didn't bring that up?
It might have been timing. It might not have happened yet or something like that.
I think it did, because I remember Kandi saying something about I feel like that interview happened prior to the reunion. I feel like that interview happened in July or August and they filmed it late. I feel like that already happened.
Then they probably really talk about it and they probably edited it out. For real. Honestly, if it happened before, Kandi mentioned it, I'm sure. Because Kandi keeps receipts and notes and we'll bring it up. Kandi ain't got no shame. All right, so this is where it got very cringy, right? This is where the reunion goes cringy. They bring Ralph out. We found out that Ralph is living in the same house as Drew right now while they're going through all of this. Drew throws out a prop and gives Ralph a peach because that's what he came for. Now, that was the only prop that worked for me.
Only piece of fruit.
Yeah.
He knew it was the peach. That's it.
That peach was right on time. Drew says she protected her husband on camera. They've been through a whole bunch of stuff these last 3 years, but she protected her husband on camera. Drew says Ralph teamed up with Mimi and created this story. Who is this assistant? Ralph says her assistant is the one that told him that she was messing with Ty. Then they show the assistant is the person that she was reading lines with when she was getting ready for that movie. And she said she only do like Lifetime and Up movies. It was that assistant. Who is that assistant? Where is the interview? Where is the vlogger that got him? We need to find out if he was running his mouth, because Kandi and Marlo and Sheree and Autumn said yes, the assistant was running his mouth.
That's all I needed. I don't need no interview because they all said nah, it was him. But F that. You know the interview I wanted Andy to pull? And I want him to pull up on the camera, because this is what I would have did. I would have said, so you think Mimi's the reason? Well, here, we interview Mimi. And I would have had a side conversation with Mimi about Ty.
Yeah.
I would have had her, and I would have questioned Mimi, and then I would have questioned Drew. This is what Mimi said.
What you say?
Or if Mimi would have said, yeah, I was contacted by Ralph. Like, however her conversation would have went. Where is Mimi?
But I feel like Mimi might not be as obtainable as the assistant. Y'all gonna show us the clip with the assistant, meaning y'all know his name, y'all know who he got, y'all got access to him. Get him to say something, since he was running around running his mouth to people. Say it on camera so we can see. Because she was like, don't throw people on. What did he say? And why was he saying this shit? Was he telling people
I don't
you had a crush? Like, what was your words, assistant? We giving you a chance, because now they done brought the assistant into the shit. So then we got
personally. I'm not gonna say I don't trust Drew's hiring process, but
clearly,
I don't. If I would have brought the assistant on, it would have gave way more clout than it needed to be. I don't know if I would have trusted the assistant. Maybe we would have reached out and asked the assistant for receipts. And unless the assistant would have provided some receipts to me, it would have been more hearsay.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I would have asked.
Why you
Maybe. I would have reached out to VH1 like we did with Martell, because Martell was irrelevant. Yeah. I want Mimi for it. And I would have said, hey, Mimi girl, hey, VH1.
But Mimi, there was a clip of Mimi that went viral where she said it. Like, she didn't, she implied it. So
she implied it on Anthony Lofty's YouTube when they had an interview. And I would have said, I wanted Mimi. And if I was Andy, I would have pre-recorded the interview so that I could show some clips, some really good highlights for them to answer the question.
Or you should have brought Mimi on Watch What Happened Live.
Period. I want to hear from the person who was sleeping with Ty, and I want to hear it from Mimi. How did you know he was sleeping with Drew? What did you see? What receipts you got? You got the text. So you've been on Love and Hip Hop.
You had a conversation with Ralph. Do you know Courtney? Okay, so I got questions.
But Love and Hip Hop is messier than Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Bravo might not want to go Love and Hip Hop ratchet. They think they better, but I think it's getting there. It's getting just as bad. Maybe not physically, but it's getting bad.
No, ma'am. Now that's where I draw the line.
Like, it's not physically as bad as Love and Hip Hop, definitely, but they're starting to get really low. They're getting really
I
low.
mean, as far as like the casting and stuff doesn't work, but no, ma'am, I don't see the comparison to Love and Hip Hop.
Well, I guess I just say like just after what Marlo was doing to Kenya's life, that's low. That's some low shit.
Yeah, that's low because it's Marlo, but I don't really
But the
feel
fact that they got Marlo up there is why I'm saying they starting to trash the Housewives brand too. Letting somebody like that come up there and do that kind of stuff, that's trashy.
Really? I wish that because you know I've been watching Love and Hip Hop since Chrissy knocked the tape.
Marlo would never do that to Chrissy. Never.
Remember, Chrissy, it's back to dog shit. And I can belly like I just don't think it should be compared. You know what I'm saying? Like these are two different lanes. I would rather compare Love and Hip Hop to Black Ink before I compare it to Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Well, they on the same
Mimi would have gave what needed to be given if y'all would have asked Mimi her direct understanding of Ty and Drew. Because I, as Andy Cohen, would have said, where's the receipts?
Yes. Well, okay. So speaking of receipts, this is when Drew brings out text messages this show about Ralph, because Ralph is saying, you know, he's never cheated and all this kind of stuff. And it's some type of text where some girl says she wanted him to give her some more D. He says that it was a bot situation and he didn't respond. Kenya also read it and said he didn't respond. Then Drew and I put Drew and Ralph as a hot mess. Just this gaslighting is just crazy. The way Ralph was like trying to be really calm, like like what's going on? What's going on? No, I've never cheated. I love my life. Oh, girl, I was so triggered. I was like shaking. I was triggered. I was like, oh, I can't do this. And the thing is, like, I know Drew's a liar, y'all. I know we've caught her lying time and time again. However, Ralph, he wasn't honest. Like, I don't understand how y'all people are like, well, Drew's a liar, so maybe no. Like, Ralph was not being honest. Were y'all watching the same thing I was watching?
No, like, but I do think that situation might have been a catfish like the past because
the text message one that she got,
text messages I don't believe
to have any evidence of get caught.
Yeah, like, that's not evidence to me, and that's not to say that he's not cheated.
Yeah,
but if this was really somebody he knew, how the hell did you get the messages? Mm-hmm. How did you get them? Did you record them? Mm-hmm. She never really clarified that. Yeah, how she got the messages.
But again, we're gonna talk to production because we don't know what production cut out, you know, because they only had enough time to do this. And this was the most.
I can only grade what we got. And right now, Drew, I don't know how you got them text messages. And B, you know, you're supposed to act like your nigga to get the tea. So if you saw the messages, why you didn't text back and be like da 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 so you can see what she said? Yeah, there's something about those text messages and his calmness about it make me wonder if maybe it was because sometimes you get bot bullshit comes to your phone, I wonder if it's from like a porn site or a whatever site, and he just got the "Do you want to see?" Because what I don't know, or maybe it was cousin Courtney, but you don't have enough because why didn't he respond?
There's a reason that I feel like Ralph. Okay, he didn't respond. However, he did respond when they brought up the fact that there was text messages and receipts that Sheree had of Drew and Ty texting. And he was really kind of like, what? Texting? What are you talking? Because she was like, you did this, you did that. You sent some texts to Sheree. Huh? What are you talking about? Can I see them? And he just played it so calm. Bruh, Sheree and Courtney are friends. So if Sheree supposedly got this, Courtney already knew about it. You telling me Courtney ain't told you she's seen some text messages? You gonna act like you reading them for the first time, Ralph?
Because here's the thing, Ralph. How did you know your wife was cheating? What evidence, Ralph? Did you know?
Why you acting like you shocked about these text messages with Ty? You know about these damn text messages with Ty because your ass the one that presented them to Sheree to bring out. Let's just be for real. In my opinion, I'm about to do that so we don't, get striked for any allegedly and in my opinion situation. So then Ralph says, Drew, you're acting. And Kenya calls him out, right? And I was like, thank you, God, because I'm watching this, and this is the worst thing I've ever seen on Housewives, where Ralph and Drew are up here airing out their marital business in front of all of the girls and Andy and all of us, and it is just like so cringeworthy. Finally, Kenya is like, he was like, I've been very supportive of my wife, and I love my wife. She was like, really supportive of your wife will be when she tells you how she feels about someone calling her a bitch, to support her and to actually support that. And then Andy mentioned supporting your wife, maybe not be referring to you guys as Ike and Tina as a joke. I was like, thank you. Somebody say some shit, because I was disappointed.
Very.
I was disappointed
with that.
Kenya, Marlo, Sheree, and Candy for all sitting there and not saying
Candy Lambs, you know I love you deep.
Y'all gonna sit here and watch this shit? Like, I was so like, y'all know we done been doing these reviews all season. Y'all know I'm not a Team Twirl girl. I am not a Kenya fan. But right there, Kenya did move up a notch in my heart, because I was like, thank you, God, because nobody was having this girl's back. Like, okay, I get it. Y'all shade each other. That's the purpose. But you guys are women. Most of y'all have been wives, or you have been in relationships. Y'all understand feelings. And a couple of y'all understand what gaslighting and abuse and being cheated on. Like, y'all gonna really sit here and just let this happen and not defend this girl? Like, it was terrible.
Because see, that's the thing with Kenya. That's the recipe with Kenya. This is why some people don't like Kenya, and I understand. Kenya has the best empathy when she has actually went through the situation that she is witnessing.
Yeah.
Kenya doesn't really understand or have the emotional intelligence to have the empathy forward on something she don't know about. This is why the first few seasons Kenya drove people crazy with not really respecting certain things about a marriage and talking about, you know, Portia having a beard for her divorce until she went through a divorce.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kenya, once she gets it, she got it. Yeah. But Kenya's the person who got to touch the stove to know it's hot in order to absorb the experience, to then, you know, exhibit the empathy outward. And so, yeah, Kenya could relate because she was married to Mark.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I wasn't surprised that Kenya spoke up, because if Kenya has been through it, he's automatically going to say, Sheree, I don't want you with Martell. He reminds me of Matt, Mark, and these other people that was abusive. When Kenya's went through it, that's when you see Kenya really show up in her empathy bag.
So we don't say none of the other women could have empathy in that moment. Sheree done been through a divorce with a husband, a public embarrassment of it. Like, and you got the nerve to pull out the damn envelope to actually add more embarrassment to this girl. Like, crazy.
Sheree has not ever given a lot of emotion, and I say a lot because we may seem pockets.
Yeah.
Y'all, they talk about Candy not being emotionally available.
Yeah.
Sheree ain't showed up emotionally in years. Drew is not her friend, and Sheree is trying to save her bag. So of course she's gonna be the bone carrier and bring it. I was not surprised by Sheree. I was disgusted, but I wasn't surprised. Marlo was pissed because on part one, you know, Drew had an issue with Marlo. So then Marlo switched sides from, I don't know if I seen her kiss a girl too. You know what? She right. She kissed a girl. Yeah. Marlo's Marlo, who always sits below the belt Marlo with her trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sonya, as usual with Metal, you know, she went back and checked on Drew and asked Drew how she was doing when Drew walked off stage. Yeah. But I don't really understand Sonya. I don't get her. I don't, like you said, she might need to be a friend of the show. I don't understand her moments. I don't get it. She almost has me, and then she does something that I'll be like, I'm confused. Like, okay, for example, when she told Kenya, I don't know if this was part one, part two. I think it was part two, when she's like, I feel like you show up for me on screen,
but not in real life.
The thing, but then in real life, I didn't get a call from you when I had my miscarriage. Okay. I'm seeing what you're saying.
Yeah.
But then you arguing about Marlo, like I don't know. She seems too. That's the thing, Messiah.
Yeah.
Too wishy-washy for me. It's just too slow of a win.
Yeah.
It's not consistent that I can stand on with Sandra. I could always stand on Cynthia being balanced.
You know what?
I can
think about past classmates, right? And think about that scene and what happened with Drew and Ralph and how that all went down. Think about the OG housewife, the one that need to come back, Nene, and what Nene would have said. Nene would not have sat there and let that shit happen. Ain't no way. Nene would not have sat there. That's why we need Nene. That's why, honestly, the OGs that we got, they ain't OGs.
Portia was so needed for this season. It ain't even funny. You need Nene and Portia on the screen because Portia would have gave us some storyline because we need to know why you took that lady husband.
Yes.
We thought we were going to forget about it because it's been a season or two. But we ain't forgot about that or your failed spinoff.
Right.
And since we got some questions, okay? Yes. And then Nene would have had a bomb storyline because we shit, at this point, she needs to film with Bravo. We want to know what you said to Andy and Bravo to get back on the screen.
Yes. But
he would have been cutting motherfuckers up like, no, Ralph. Like,
Nene would have checked the shit out of Ralph. Just like the Peter, she would have let Ralph have it. All Nene talk about right now on social media is narcissists. Like she got an obsession with letting us know what the hell narcissism is and what they are and how they treat. If Nene would have sat there and witnessed that, Nene would have went off. I needed Nene so bad at that moment. I did. That's why I was so happy that Kenya stood up and tried to at least give us a little something. I really needed Nene because Nene would have chopped his nuts off.
You know what Nene also would have chopped the fuck out of? Fucking cousin Courtney.
Oh, and God,
the moment that Courtney brought Drew's kid in here, remember that season? Well, I don't remember what season this was, y'all. But remember when Nene cleared the fuck out of Sheree because Sheree said your son was stealing from Walmart, but you're supposed to be rich.
Yes.
And she said, hold up. What my son got to do with that? Nene would have cleared the fuck out of cousin Courtney.
Yeah, she would have. Listen, petition y'all for real. Like, I think that would totally help the dynamic of this show. Is we need a big sister that's gonna be like, okay, y'all done all lost y'all motherfucking minds. Like, cause that's where we at right now. Like, ain't nobody calling out the BS. And Kenya did. So I was like, for real. And I was so surprised it was Kenya, girl. I mean, I couldn't even do nothing but smile like, oh, Karma gonna be so proud. Cause I was like, Kenya, thank you. Like, I was like, and it was Kenya. So it was, for me, it was crazy because it was Kenya. But I promise you, Kenya, thank you. Because nobody was trying to say that, girl. And then we're going to wrap this show. And then we get the most cringiest moment.
Oh, my God.
God. Why?
Nene would have never. Nene's face would have been every meme in the universe by now. Because Nene couldn't have been sitting here watching that without a face.
No.
Between her and Candy Burris faces, we would have had 20 memes by now.
Oh my gosh. Y'all, look at this again. Look at Andy.
Look at Andy's face. And Andy talking about she's singing it to him. Right. Y'all knew that when y'all did it. Why didn't y'all let her go to a little stage over to the left? Right. And the camera just paying to y'all do this on purpose. Eric Fuller makes my head hurt. Why did you sit here and film this cringy moment in that format?
Oh
why is Ralph on this set? Why is he still here?
Why did you dismiss him? Why did you do that?
Why is he still sitting here?
Drew. And I understood why it was happening, but Drew, why was you saying it to him? I wouldn't even looked at him. Like, what was you doing? I was just so like, what is this?
Maybe it wouldn't have been as bad. I don't know. I don't know. It's something about the entire thing that didn't feel right for me. Now, I have seen artists where we like, oh, we know who they singing to, and it's like, yes.
Yeah.
But it's something about that moment that was just totally cringy, probably because of the previous conversation.
Yes.
It was already in front of the other housewives, so this just made it extra cringy because y'all didn't have them. Is Eric Fuller in charge of that? Because I'm still trying to figure out Eric Fuller's job. There's a lot of moving, or do you just say action? I'm trying to figure out Eric Fuller's complete.
You know what Carlos is doing, Carlos King is giving us a lot of behind the scene like information on production and what they are supposed to do. So Eric's not going to be able to use that as an excuse for so long. Seriously, that was just terrible.
Did Carlos respond to Eric Fuller's Instagram post about he doesn't make casting decisions, he doesn't make editing? Did Carlos ever come out and say what the roles and responsibility was on why RHOA was successful under his leadership?
I know he's explained it before. I'm gonna have to try to see if I can find an action video because he has explained to us his role when he was doing it. He can't speak for Eric, but when he was doing it, I don't know. They might have shifted some stuff since Carlos left. Maybe like they had too many issues with Carlos. He had too much responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe they said that we're going to divide this up a little bit more. You never know because Carlos is not in that position anymore. However, somebody is effing up. That was just
I know he is that at this point, Bravo and Nene need to go ahead and reconcile.
Bad.
You haven't found whether Nene got on my nerves or not. Nene is a star, and that's and you haven't found another star like Nene.
Because Nene was Housewives. Like I don't care what people say, she is, and we still watch it. And it's not like, but they are losing us. Like a lot, they are losing us.
Go get Nene. Nene needs to come back.
We need Nene. That's what we need. Like, if y'all don't want to bring nobody else back, if y'all don't want to, just start with Nene. Work that shit out.
I don't give a F about Phaedra. I personally don't ever need to see Phaedra on my screen. I know people listen, they always use that one read from Phaedra reading Kenya, and everybody want Phaedra back. Phaedra was a fake respectability politics, fake Christian. She don't know how pregnant she was. She act like she didn't know Apollo was doing. Phaedra never gave what she was supposed to give. You understand?
I'm going to hold my opinions on Phaedra because I ain't seen Phaedra in so long. I'm going to hold my opinion. When Phaedra was on there, I did like her until I found out that she lied on Candy. So she about to be on Married to Medicine.
Hold on. You telling me you liked Phaedra when we said, so how far along are you, Phaedra? And she gave you 6 months and they going to take the baby, Phaedra.
No. When she said,
okay, you telling me you liked Phaedra, okay? When she was sitting here helping Johnny and all of it, like you trying to tell me Phaedra ain't that nasty, nice Christian in a church that make you not want to go?
No, I didn't like her defending Johnny. I did like her defending Sheree and messing it up.
Like Phaedra has always given me the Christian persona of why people don't like to go to church. Like that dual life of you're not being authentic to the parallels and oppositions you're going through, and you put on this Southern act when you pop for a felon, and you knew he was a felon, and you know what he was doing with them credit cards, but you try to sit here and act like you don't know. And I get it because you don't want to go to jail.
Yeah.
But I did not care for Phaedra because Phaedra has, since she went to go get Nene's remember she went to go get Nene's sister and try to bring her. Something about Phaedra always seemed a little sinister. And the way that she maneuvered, it reminded me of the old church ladies that just didn't mean you well. Like wanted to tell you was a Jezebel, but something about her spirit that didn't right.
Maybe she was like another form of Marlo. It kind of seems like backhanded.
Well, we already got Marlo. Marlo can go back as a friend of the show and be best friends and Kiki to Nene, because Nene can let Marlo know you was never a star. I'm the star. I'm sure that little dynamic would be funny. So I would like to see Marlo back as a friend to the show and Nene reminder.
Okay. I just need Nene. I don't have to have anybody else at this point. I don't have to have, I mean, I would like to have Portia because I like Portia. She was a good time. but I need Nene. If nobody else comes back, I need Nene. At this point, I personally need Nene. Looks like Karma is loading. Hopefully, I'm still here. The last thing they did was they wrapped it up and let Sheree get the final word. And Sheree tried to make it seem like she loves everyone and she's not giving up on them and she wants it all to work out. And it was like, but you just presented information in an envelope on your sis. So how in God's green earth can you truly on God really truly want this to work out for anybody? Like, I don't know. So yeah, that was it. I don't know if Karma's gonna make it back before I wrap, but that was the end. So guys, thank you for watching the show. That was the finale. So that's it. Housewives of Atlanta season 15 wrap. So now Love and Marriage Huntsville is coming back. It's coming back at the end of the month. So I think in a week or two it'll be back. And then after that, I think Married to Medicine is coming on. So I'm gonna talk to Karma and see if she watches that. Because I do watch Married to Medicine. So we could just do both of those. Or we could just do Huntsville. And I can just watch Married to Medicine and just chill. So, guys, again, we'll be back tomorrow with If You Like It, I Love It, where we're going to be doing hot topics. So, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on iCandy TV and on our Facebook channel. So, thank you so much, guys, for watching. I love you, and I will talk to you guys